Is Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch actually good? So today we will be answering the question, is Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 actually good on the Nintendo Switch? Well, to start off, Nintendo had a direct not too long ago with Mario's 40th anniversary, and it got announced that Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 will be ported over to the Switch and will get its own physical and digital releases for it. And it was kind of weird how this whole thing started and happened, and there's been a lot of controversy around it. A lot of people have been talking about it because there's some problems with it. One, they released Galaxy 2 with Galaxy 1. Now, it makes sense why they did it, to just include it into like a little pack-in title. Makes sense, a little package you got. You get both of the games. Or you can go to the eShop and download them separately, digitally. You can just get Galaxy 1 or 2, whatever one you want. But Galaxy 1 has already been on the Nintendo Switch. Back in 2020 for Mario's 35th anniversary, it was announced that Mario would be getting a 3D All-Star Collection with 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy 1. Now, Galaxy 2 was the only one missing because Super Mario 3D World that was on the Wii U also got ported over to the Switch with an extra little DLC included, Bowser's Fury, which was really good. But Galaxy 2 was the only game that was missing. Now, I guess if you count Super Mario 64 DS and 3D Land on the 3DS, which I do count because 64 DS is like another one of my childhood games, and I really, really love that game. And hopefully someday we'll get that on a modern day console, which I don't think we will, just because it's a remake of 64, even though there's pretty big differences in the game compared to the original 64 on the N64. One being that there's 4 characters instead of just playing as Mario. You get Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi. There's also new additional levels that you can play in the game. But that's just me yapping about that. I don't know if we'll ever get that. 3D Land might be possible, just because we've already seen them port over 3DS games to the Switch, just like recently with Luigi's Mansion 2. Now, another reason why they are probably bringing over both games once again. One, because the 3D All-Stars collection was a limited time thing, and you can no longer get it anymore. Well, technically you can, but you'll probably have to pay a pretty big chunk of money to get it off of like eBay or something. They're going for like over $100 now. So that's the only way you could play Galaxy 1 if you did miss out on that for the 35th anniversary. But for the 40th anniversary, they brought back Galaxy 1 and 2 together as a little package, and they are charging $70 for it. Yeah, pretty bad. Did I buy it? Yes, because I'm an idiot, and because I can. So this thing was $70 for 2 old Wii games. Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are 2 of my childhood games. If you've watched the channel, you probably know this. I've made a few Galaxy videos talking about the games quite a bit recently. And bringing these 2 games back to the Switch, which that's another thing too. They only brought it to the Switch and not the Switch 2, which didn't really make sense to me. But you can obviously play it on the Switch 2, which I have been. But I thought that was kind of weird and interesting. But anyways, they brought these 2 back. I was pretty excited for them. But charging $70 for 2 old Wii games. Galaxy 1 came out in 2007, and Galaxy 2 came out in 2010, so these games are pretty old now. And to charge $70 for these 2 doesn't seem reasonable at all, only because the 3D All-Stars collection, they technically were charging Galaxy 1 for $20, which it should have been. Because if you count, because the whole 3D All Stars collection was $60, and that included 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. So technically, all three games are $20 together, which was a great deal. But why are Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, when those two games are combined, it's $70? And if you buy them separately on the eShop, they're both $40 separately. And I don't understand why that's the case, because they're ports. They really didn't change all that much into these games. So to charge extra money is pretty greedy for Nintendo, in my opinion. And that's a whole nother topic for another day, is Nintendo and their greedy problems in the Switch 2 era so far. It's been pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, to charge, these are Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 back on the Wii. And I can't remember exactly how much they were when these two games launched at the time. I think they might have been like $50 when they came out on the Wii. But then they slowly started going down in price towards the end of the Wii's life cycle. And I think even like when they were on the Wii U for like Nintendo Classics or whatever. Well, if you don't know, I never owned a Wii U during that time, so I didn't know. I just know about this. But Galaxy 1 and 2 and the Wii U, you could get for $20 each. So I don't understand why now on the Switch, not even the Switch 2, but on the Switch, they're charging $70 for both together and $40 separately. I don't understand that. And Nintendo also had like their Nintendo Selects thing that they did back in the day. I don't know if any of y'all remember that, but they would pick a few of their first party titles and choose them to be like as like the good deals and the cheaper games, just because of kind of like because they were like older games starting to get older, and so they just discounted them to sell more copies, which was smart, and it was just a fun little thing they did. For example, this copy of Twilight Princess is a Nintendo Selects box, and this is what they put on them for the Nintendo Selects. So this was like $20. Well, I got that for like $10 actually at some game store, because I wasn't a big Zelda fan at the time. So eventually I picked up Twilight Princess, and for a pretty cheap price, and played it, and it's one of my favorite Zelda games. But that's a topic for another day. Now the actual gameplay itself, when I ended up going to the store pretty early in the morning just to go pick it up real quick. I didn't pre-order it all because I was just like, I know there's gonna be plenty stock, so I just ended up going there myself and just picking it up, because why not? And so I was like, I want to play Galaxy 2 on the Switch, and I've been using my Switch 2 obviously because that's the newest console. I'm not even gonna go back to my Switch because there's no need to. But I started playing Galaxy 2 because, one, I think it's the better game in my opinion, and I haven't replayed that game enough. I've replayed Galaxy 1 several times when I was a kid, and I did play it a little bit on the Switch 2 just to like test it out and see what's going on with it. But I didn't play that much. I'm probably going to play Galaxy 2 all the way through. And that's also because it hasn't been on the Switch before yet. So this is the first time it's ever been ported over to the Switch. And so, if you're like me and you've played these games before and you don't want to spend $70 or even $40 for them separately for two old Wii games, I don't blame you. If you played them before and own them on the Wii, and you still own a Wii like I do, and you can still play them on the Wii, then I don't see the point. I'm just a big Mario Galaxy fan. These are two of my favorite games of all time. I have a lot of nostalgia for these games. These are truly my childhood games, and to see them get ported over to the Switch was pretty cool to see. And they're only doing it probably because alongside the Mario Galaxy movie that was just announced, if you remember in that Nintendo Direct. And we're also getting Mario Galaxy amiibos when the movie comes out. Which, I don't know why they even announced those if they come out that far away. I didn't even realize they come out next year in April when the movie comes out. So like, I don't know why they released the game, advertise that there's amiibos, and that amiibos work for this game if you can't even use them until they come out in April of next year. I thought that was kind of dumb. I didn't see the point of even announcing those yet if they don't even come out until way later on. But yeah, playing Galaxy 2 on the Switch too, I don't know, there's definitely something off about it. Maybe because these two games are originally Wii games and they're set to have Wii controls. And yeah, the Switch can have motion controls and can do motion controls as well. But I tried playing Galaxy 2 with my Pro Controller, and obviously the Pro Controller has motion controls too. But I don't know, there was something about like riding on Yoshi, like playing with Yoshi in Galaxy 2, and the controls were just so wonky to me. And it was really, really hard to play with, and I don't know how I feel about it. And honestly, graphics wise, there's really not much changed. And I've seen a lot of comparisons online to where like they upped the resolution too high from like old games, 15-year-old games, and to where the graphics don't even look very good anymore because they just upped the resolution. They didn't even like go into like the actual files and pretty much remaster it, because like that's a lot of work. But then again, you're charging $70 for these things, and what did they add? New story elements to Rosalina's book in the games, which, ooh, that's cool, I guess, but that's it. You gotta charge extra money for that. But yeah, that's kind of a little rant and little yap session I had about this game. If you want to pick it up, it's there. If you haven't never played these games, you can now play it on the Switch. And if you don't own a Wii and own these two games on the Wii, and you have a Switch and want to try these out, you got it right here, $70. Or $40 separately if you just want to try Galaxy 1 out. Or if you haven't played Galaxy 2 yet, $40 separately. So yeah, there you go. So that brings us back to the question: is Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch actually good? And honestly, I really don't know. Like, genuinely, I don't know how I feel about it. I paid $70 for this thing, and there's something like weird about it. Like, I don't feel satisfied with it. Like, yeah, I'm obviously gonna play through Galaxy 2 on it just because I paid $70 for it. So I'm gonna get my use out of it, obviously, but I don't know. There's something off about it. Nintendo's just being weird these days. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. So yeah, and also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure and do that. It's super easy to do. We got a goal of hitting 500 subs by the end of the year. Do I think we'll make it? I have no clue. I only do this for fun, just because I can, and I enjoy making videos like this. But yeah, we've started to slowly go up a little bit in subs, so let's just keep that going. So yeah, see ya.